Odysseus and the Divine Trials, Greek Gods, Sirens, and the Sacred Journey Home through Homer's ancient Mediterranean. Close your eyes now, and let your breath become slow and easy. Allow your body to settle into stillness, like a ship finding calm harbor after a long day at sea. Tonight, we journey together through the wine-dark waters of the ancient Mediterranean, following a hero named Odysseus as he sails ever homeward, guided by the stars and the will of the gods. Long ago, in a time when mortals and immortals walked closer together, when every wave and wind carried the whisper of divine presence, there lived a man of great cunning and patience. His name was Odysseus, king of the rocky island of Ithaca. After 10 long years of war at distant Troy, he wished only to return to his beloved wife Penelope, to his son Telemachus, and to the olive trees and quiet shores of home. But the gods had other plans. They set before him a journey of trials and wonders that would take 10 more years to complete. And in this journey, we find not merely adventure, but a sacred story of perseverance, wisdom, and the eternal human longing for belonging. Let your mind drift now across the gentle waters, and imagine the world as the ancient Greeks understood it. The Greeks believed that the cosmos was alive with divine presence. Mount Olympus, shrouded in clouds, was home to the great gods. Zeus, who commanded the thundering sky. Poseidon, lord of the restless sea. Athena, goddess of wisdom and craft. And many others whose names echo still through time. These gods were not distant or unknowable. They walked among mortals, took interest in human affairs, and shaped the fates of kings and wanderers alike. To the Greeks, every storm was the breath of Poseidon. Every moment of sudden clarity was a gift from Athena. The world was enchanted, filled with meaning. At the heart of Greek philosophy was a simple and profound truth. Human beings must find their place within the greater order of things. They called this order cosmos, meaning harmony, beauty, arrangement. To live well was to live in alignment with this cosmic order, to know oneself, to accept the limits of mortal life, and to honor the gods through action and reverence. Odysseus, clever and patient, embodied this ideal. He was not the strongest warrior, but he was the wisest. He understood that the journey itself was sacred, that every trial was a teacher, and that homecoming was not merely a destination, but a state of the soul. Breathe slowly now, and let these ancient truths settle into your body like warm sunlight. The Greeks honored their gods through rituals that wove the sacred into everyday life. Before setting sail, Odysseus and his men would pour wine into the sea as an offering to Poseidon, asking for safe passage. They would burn incense and speak prayers to Athena, seeking her protection and guidance. At home, families kept small altars where they honored household gods and ancestors. Fire was sacred, a connection between the mortal world and the divine. The hearth at the center of every home was tended with care, for it represented warmth, continuity, and the presence of Hestia, goddess of the hearth. When Odysseus traveled to strange lands, he encountered beings and places of great mystery. On the island of Aia, he met the enchantress Circe, who tested his men with magic and eventually became his guide. In her company, he learned the rituals needed to speak with the spirits of the dead. He journeyed to the edge of the world, to the shadowed land where souls drifted like dreams. There, he poured offerings of milk, honey, and dark wine into a trench, and the spirits came to drink and speak. This act was deeply sacred, a reminder that the boundary between life and death was thin, and that the wisdom of those who had passed could still light the way for the living. Let your body become heavier now, sinking gently into rest. The story of Odysseus was preserved in one of humanity's oldest and most beautiful sacred texts, Homer's Odyssey. Composed nearly 3,000 years ago, this epic poem was first sung aloud by poets called bards, who carried the tale from village to village, from generation to generation. The Odyssey is not merely a story of adventure. It is a meditation on what it means to be human, to endure suffering with grace, to long for home, and to remain true to oneself through every trial. Alongside the Odyssey stands the Iliad. Homer's tale of the Trojan War, and together these poems form the spiritual foundation of Greek civilization. The symbols of this tradition are gentle and enduring. The olive tree, patient and long-lived, was sacred to Athena and represented peace, wisdom, and the rooted stability of home. The ship, cutting through dark waters, symbolized the soul's journey through the unknown. The hearth fire stood for belonging and warmth. And the labyrinth, though associated with other myths, echoed the wandering path Odysseus traveled, the winding way that eventually leads to the center, to understanding, to rest. One of the most haunting symbols in the Odyssey is the Song of the Sirens. These mysterious beings sang with voices so beautiful that sailors were drawn helplessly toward them, only to be dashed upon the rocks. Odysseus, ever curious, wished to hear their song, but he also wished to survive. So he ordered his men to fill their ears with wax and to bind him tightly to the mast of his ship. As they sailed past the Sirens' island, Odysseus alone heard the music, straining against his ropes, overwhelmed by longing. But the ship sailed on, and he was saved. This story teaches us that longing itself is part of the journey, that we may encounter beauty and danger intertwined, and that sometimes wisdom means accepting what we cannot possess. Let your thoughts grow quieter now, like ripples fading on still water. The influence of Odysseus and the Greek spiritual tradition reaches far beyond the ancient Mediterranean. The Odyssey has been translated into nearly every language on Earth. Its themes resonate in the literature, art, and philosophy of cultures around the world. The hero's journey, the call to adventure, the trials and transformations, the longing for home. These patterns appear in stories from every civilization, from the Epic of Gilgamesh to the wanderings of the Buddha, from medieval romances to modern films. Scholars have recognized that the structure of Odysseus's journey mirrors the universal path of human growth and self-discovery. The Greek concepts of nostos, the return home, and kleos, the glory of a life well lived, have shaped how people across centuries think about meaning and purpose. The Olympic Games, born in ancient Greece as a sacred festival honoring Zeus, continue today as a global celebration of human excellence and unity. The temples of Athens, though now silent, still inspire architects and seekers who travel to stand among their columns and feel the presence of something greater. And the stars that guided Odysseus across the sea still shine above us, the same stars that ancient sailors named and trusted. You are part of this long tradition now, simply by listening, simply by imagining these shores and stories. Breathe gently, let your body be at ease. As we bring this journey to a close, imagine yourself as Odysseus at last approaching Ithaca. The mist begins to lift. The rocky hills appear, familiar and welcoming. The olive trees sway in the soft wind. After so many years, after so many trials, the wanderer is home. Not because the way was easy, but because he never stopped seeking, never stopped believing that home was possible. And now, at last, there is rest. You, too, are on your way home tonight. Not to a distant island, but to the deep and peaceful harbor of sleep. Let the gentle waves carry you there. Let the stars watch over you. Let the memory of Odysseus, patient and wise, remind you that every journey, no matter how long, leads eventually to rest. Sleep now, traveler. You are safe. You are held by the quiet night. And tomorrow, the sun will rise again over the wine-dark sea. Good night.